Dahyung-ho and Kang Lim and Jong Park. We are going to presentation on economic indicator that can compensate for the limitations of the Big Mac Index. First, I'm going to tell you about what is Big Mac Index and its limitations. The Big Mac Index is a simple indicator of the value of each country's currency by converting the price of a Big Mac sold in each country to US dollars. Since McDonald's has restaurants in almost every country and uses the same ingredients and recipes to make its Big Mac, comparing the price of a Big Mac gives you an idea of the value of each country's currency. The Big Mac Index is an economic indicator that uses a simple calculation to show exchange rate, but its simplicity comes at the cost of being an inaccurate reflection of the state of the economy. The Big Mac Index is based on the law of one price, the theory that goods of the same quality have the same price everywhere. However, in the real world, this law does not always hold true due to its complexity of countries and politics and economy and other social factors. As a result, the price of a Big Mac will vary from country to country, reflecting the economic and social characteristics such as labor and transportation. However, the Big Mac Index does not reflect these complex factors because it only compares the price of a Big Mac. Therefore, while the Big Mac Index can be useful as a simple tool for comparing purchasing power across countries, it is not an accurate currency valuation tool. Because of these limitations of the Big Mac Index, other economic indicators should be used in addition to the Big Mac Index to make an accurate judgment. In this article, Kang and Jong will introduce two economic indicators that can compensate for the limitations of the Big Mac Index.
Thank you. I'll continue with the overview and start introducing two indicators. So as she said, the Big Mac Index has a limitation that it can't reflect the price level and income level, which are essential for calculating the exchange rate. So it is strongly recommended to use it with some other indicators for more accurate exchange rate. So we are going to introduce two indicators that could be helpful to calculate the exchange rate with the Big Mac Index. The first one is CPI and the second one is GDP. We are going to explain what they are and how they can complement the Big Mac Index. So let's check it and let's check what they are and what they do. The first one we are going to introduce is CPI. CPI stands for Consumer Price Index, and it is an index that shows fluctuation in the price of what consumers purchase. The distinct feature of it is that it categorizes the consumption in several categories and only calculates the best sellers in each category. I mean, the best seller is the most consumed ones. So, for example, CPI in South Korea calculates the price of rice and coffee in the food category. Since rice and coffee are high demand in South Korea. With this method, the exchange rate can be calculated so pragmatically and practically. It's because the more commonly consumed they are, the more influenced by the exchange rate at the price level. So with this function of CPI, the Big Mac index can overcome its limitation. The Big Mac index considers the Big Mac price only, which is not enough to reflect the price level. And on the other hand, CPI can show the fluctuation and pragmatical price level by analyzing the consumption in several categories. So the Big Mac index can calculate the exchange rate more accurately with the CPI to reflect the price level. So now we have learned about CPI, we're going to learn about GDP. I'll hand it over to Dawn Lee.
Okay, after CPI, I'm going to explain the second indicator, GDP. GDP stands for gross domestic product, which is the value of all goods and services produced in a country over a period of time. Sorry.
Okay.
This is a representative indicator of measuring the size and production activity of the economy, including nominal GDP and real GDP. GDP can also be used to represent people's income levels, because GDP measures production and consumption across the economy. It shows the overall economic situation without relying on a single item. And because the economic situation is linked to the level of national income, we can find out the level of income through GDP. At this point, GDP per capita, which shows the average output and income level per capita, is used by dividing the total GDP by the number of people. GDP can complement the limits of the Big Mac index. The Big Mac index only reveals the limited cost of creating the Big Mac, but cannot reveal the national income. On the other hand, GDP can present the national income, the level of national income based on the size of the country's economy. Thus, GDP can be a good data to solve the problem of the Big Mac index that does not reflect the income level, which is one of the factors one of the factors of determine exchange rates. in summary, we introduced two indicators, economic indicators, CPI and GDP. The Big Mac index. The Big Mac index is calculated with only the Big Mac. However, CPI can grasp prices in the various fields by comparing the prices of representative consumer products. In addition, unlike the Big Mac index, GDP can show the income level based on the economic scale. Therefore, CPI and GDP can solve the limitations of the Big Mac index by reflecting prices and income levels, which are important factors in determining exchange rates. Okay, this is the end of the presentation. Here are our references, and thank you for your attention.